After World War II, two superpowers emerged: the United States and the Soviet Union, allies turned rivals, divided by ideology. The U.S. championed democracy and capitalism, while the USSR pushed communism and state control. From the late 1940s to the early 1990s, the world lived under the threat of nuclear annihilation. Both sides competed for global influence, rebuilding Europe through the Marshall Plan and the Warsaw Pact, dividing the world into opposing camps. Tensions erupted in events like the Berlin Blockade, 1948, where Western airlifts defied Stalin's attempt to starve Berlin, and the arms race, which saw both nations amass terrifying nuclear arsenals. The space race began after the Soviet launch of Sputnik in 1957, symbolizing the competition for technological and ideological dominance. The most dangerous moment came during the Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962, when Soviet missiles in Cuba brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. Both sides pulled back just in time, realizing that direct conflict could destroy humanity. In the following decades, proxy wars like Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan kept the Cold War simmering. A brief thaw or détente in the 1970s slowed tensions, but rivalry soon returned in the 1980s with Reagan's evil empire rhetoric and massive arms buildup. Inside the USSR, stagnation, censorship, and economic decline weakened the system. Reformist leader Mikhail Gorbachev introduced glasnost, openness, and perestroika, restructuring, unintentionally setting off a wave of change he couldn't control. In 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, symbolizing the collapse of Soviet control over Eastern Europe. 2 years later, the Soviet Union dissolved entirely. The Cold War ended without a final battle, but its legacy remains in global politics, nuclear weapons, and the ongoing tension between East and West.